Good morning, children. It's nice to see you all back once again. Today, in our virtual class, we are going to learn the second poem given to you in the second unit, that is Confessions of a Born Spectator, written by Odin Nash. Before we learn the poem, let's learn something about the poet. We'll now move on to the next page. So, in your textbook, you can take page number 54. So, here is what is given about the author. Frederick Odin Nash lived between August 19, 1902 to May 19, 1971. He was an American poet well known for his light verse. So, when you say light verse, this is something written to amuse or entertain others, of which he wrote over 500 pieces. It's almost 500 pieces. He is written in light verse. With his unconventional rhyming schemes, he was declared the country's best known producer of humorous poetry. So, in America, one of the most popular humorous poet is Odin Nash. His light verse even earned him a place on a postage stamp. So, even they had released a postage stamp in the name of Odin Nash. So, that's what is about the poet Odin Nash. Now, let's get back to the poem. So, Confessions of a Born Spectator. So, the title itself says Confessions of a Born Spectator. Now, what does it mean? What does the title mean here? So, confession, that is a truth told by a spectator. Now, you see so many sports and games events. Most of them love to be a performer. But you should not forget, on the other side, there are a few people who love to be a spectator as well. They want to be only as a spectator and they don't want to be a performer. That may not be for all the games. Now, some of you might love to perform as a cricketer. You want to score runs, you get popular, so much of applause, especially in a country like India. But you don't want to perform in a boxing game or something like that because you don't get enough popularity for it, or also you get more injury compared to a cricket or something like that. So in certain games you want to be a spectator, certain games you might be a performer. So like that you can classify yourself. Here the poet Odin Nash says that he is very happy to be a spectator and he is very glad that he's not a sports person, he's not an athlete, or he's not a performer at all. So that is what is the idea of this poem. So let us see what will a spectator confess. So let us see what are all the truth will be told by the spectator. So we in this poem we are having 6 stanza, and in each stanza we are having 6 lines, and the rhyming scheme in each stanza is A, B, B, C, C. You can see in the first stanza in the rhyming jockey, hockey. Then the third and fourth enter, center, and the fifth and sixth can be, not me. So this is what is the rhyming scheme adopted in the entire poem. Now we'll move on to the first stanza here. Let us see what does a spectator confess according to Odin Nash. One infant grows up and becomes a jockey. Another plays basketball or hockey. This one the prize ring hates to enter. That one becomes a tackle or center. I'm just glad as glad can be that I am not them, that they are not me. So one infant, one child grows up and becomes a jockey. Jockey means a horse rider. So one child's ambition itself might be to ride a horse. So one might become a jockey. Another plays basketball or hockey. Another will play basketball and become a basketball player, or another one might become a hockey player. This one, the prize ring hates to enter, and these people who love to become a football player or a basketball player may not like to play inside a ring. The place inside a ring, no, here that is the boxing matches. No, that is what is conducted inside a ring. So these particular tournaments, the previous child may not like it. It might hate to enter. So that one becomes a tackle or center. So that one. So what will the previous one become? That is a child who loves hockey or football. It will become a football player. It will become a tackle. Tackle means it will approach. It will always try to approach to become a football player or a hockey player. That is what the child will try, and it may not. So you can't say once just because somebody is a sports person doesn't mean that they love all the forms of sports. And then in the next line he says, But this is what most of them will like and come. But I'm just glad, as glad can be, like how happiness itself can be. I'm very glad that I'm not them. I'm not an athlete and I'm not a sports person. I'm very glad that they are not me. And I'm also very glad that they are not a spectator, because we need some of them to perform. Only then they can entertain us. So he's very happy that he is not a performer, and he's also glad that the performers are not a spectator. That is what is told in the first stanza. Hope all of you understood. Now let's move on to the second stanza. So in the first stanza, he says very clearly that every child, according to their wish, they become sports person. But not all sports person like all forms of sports. But in the final last two lines, he says that he is very glad that he is not a sports person, and is glad that the sports person, they are not a spectator. In the next stanza, with all my heart do I admire athletes who sweat for fun or hire. Though I don't want to become an athlete or a sports person, but I love all the sports people. I love all athletes. I do admire all the athletes who sweat for fun or hire. No, they sweat so hard as fun, isn't it? To entertain us, or hire because they are paid. They might perform. Why they perform? To entertain us, or because they are paid. But I respect them and I admire the way they perform, who take the field in gaudy pomp. Gaudy pomp here means showy dress. Because how do they perform on the field? Their dress, now always you can see a sports person's dress will be very attractive. The colors, now the costume itself, no, it will be appealing to the eyes of all the audience or the spectators who are watching. So they take the field in gaudy pomp and mime each other as they romp. But what do? Mime here means injure, and they attack. When they play football, you can see so much of injury happens. Any form of sports you take, boxing or hockey or any form of sport, there will always be injury in a sports person's life. And they injure, mime each other as they romp. As the romp means play in a rough manner. A sports, you can never expect a sports person, because sports itself is about physical activity. So you can't expect a sports person to play very softly. So there they mime each other, they injure each other as they romp, as they play roughly. So romp here means play roughly. My limp and bashful spirit feeds. But how is a spirit, spirit? Because everything, however strong you are, you need that spirit. Even in every form of sport, they say, you need that winning spirit, they used to say. Here, how is the poet's spirit, it's very limp. Limp means very weak. My limp, weak, and bashful. Bashful means very, don't be bashing, very shy and reluctant. Very shy and don't like to interfere easily, very shy and reluctant. But my limp and bashful spirit feeds on other people's heroic deeds. But because I am very shy and I am weak, my spirit feels on other people's. Whenever I see others performing, my spirit, because it's weak, it has not, because my spirit is not strong enough to perform all those things. But when I see that heroic things done on the field, my spirits go very high and I'm very happy. So here in the second stanza, he says that he respects sports person, and the way they perform with attractive, showy dress, and though they attack each other, they injure each other in the manner which they play very roughly. And what satisfies him is his weak spirit gets excited and looking at all these heroic deeds. The way, because sports itself is full of excitement. You will never be a sports lover without excitement. There is always scope for sometimes you will be extreme excitement, sometimes disappointment as well. So such as will be the attitude of a spectator there. Then the third stanza. Now A is a person here. The poet says, now A runs 90 yards to score. So he has to run 90 yards very fast to get a score. Maybe 90 yards to score a goal, or to run as an athlete, or to score one run, whatever it may be. He has to run 90 yards to score. And another game, the person named B, take a person as B, knocks the champion to the floor. If at all he wants to win, he should knock another champion to the floor. He has to knock him down. Only then he can become a champion. Cracking the vertebrae and spines, all the backbone and the spine, everything will be broken. But he has to do that. Only then he can win. Lashes his steed across the line. And in another game, lashes means here beat with a whip, how we beat a horse, like that. Another game, in order to win, he lashes his steed. Steed means it's a horse. Especially very strong, large horse, which you can see mostly in racing. So lashes, it's hits hard with the whip his steed across the line. So he wants to make the horse go across the line faster, and he has to hit like this. This is how he has to perform to win. You would think my ego it would please to swap positions with one of these. You might think I'm having an ego to swap. Swap means exchange. You might think I'm having ego to exchange my position with them and their position with me. You might think so, but it's not so. But I love their activities on the field, the way they win everything. But it is not my ego, if at all you think, because I don't like to be injured in that field. So, but you might think, oh, if at all, if somebody gives me a chance, why can't you go and perform? And one day I want to be a spectator. I mean, I will not, I agree. But it's not my ego as well. So, swap here means exchange. So, I'll never have that intention of going onto the field. So, that's the third stanza. And now we'll move on to the fourth stanza. Well, ego it might be pleased enough, but even if some of you think that is your ego because you don't want to perform or you don't consider or value sports, if at all you think, but zealous means very enthusiastic, very with interest, with full of interest. But zealous athletes play so rough, but they are excited, they want to win. And how do they perform? They play so rough on the field, they do not ever in their dealings consider another's feelings. Now whenever a match dealing is done, there is no consideration for each and other's feelings. Nobody is going to worry that, see, if he's going to get injured, it will pain for him, so let us consider his feeling. That's what such thing a sports person will not consider, and that is not the way a sports person will perform also. So they do not ever in their dealings consider one another's feelings. I am glad that when my struggle begins, if at all I get into a struggle, if at all there is a confusion in my mind, twist, the last line here, you can say twist. Twist here means between. If at all there is a confusion in my mind, twist between prudence. Prudence means wisdom, wise, knowledgeable. If at all there is a struggle between twist, prudence and ego, prudence wins. If at all it is, I have a confusion between prudence and ego, knowledge and ego, prudence wins. Always, no, my ego will never win, only my knowledge will win. So because I don't have ego in that place, I am very clever, I'm very wise, because I don't want to be injured, like how an athlete is or a boxer is thrown to the floor. So I'm very wise, I use my knowledge, and so I don't involve in sports. That's what the poet says in the fourth stanza. So all these are the confessions of a person who likes only to be a spectator. And the fifth stanza, so how will be the sports done? See, when swollen eye, because while boxing each other, you would have seen in many matches, boxing matches and all, the eyes will be swollen eye, meets gnarled list. Gnarled here means rough and twisted fist. This is the fist, rough, the eyes which are already swollen is going to meet the gnarled fist. When snaps the knee, when snaps here means when the knees are broken, the game knees are broken, and cracks the wrist. Knees are broken and the wrist is also broken. The wrist here is also broken. Then at that particular time, what happens? When official dom demands, official dom, the group of officials who are there for a match, when such injury happens, the official dom will demand, is there a doctor in the stand? The player has been seriously injured. Please bring a doctor. They'll be searching for a doctor on the stand. When I see such thing, my soul in true thanksgiving speaks for this modest of physics. At the time, my soul speaks to me that, thank God, I didn't perform. And I'm very glad that I am not as strong as them. And I'm very modest of physics. Modest of physics here means body. My body is modest, average. I'm not very strong at all. If at all I'd been strong enough, I might have got the interest to go and play there, and I might get this injury which that player was getting. And I'm very thankful to God that I am very modest in my physics. So only I didn't perform. Like that, the poet consoles himself and he thanks God for being moderate in his physics. I hope you understood the fifth stanza. So here the poet is very happy that he's escaping from getting a swollen eye or a broken fist or a broken knee or a broken wrist as well. So then the last stanza. Thus he concludes with saying, athletes. So finally, he's addressing the athletes. No, he has confessed as a spectator what are all the things goes in his mind, and finally says, athletes, all sports people, I will drink to you or eat with you or anything except compete with you. See, you asked me to come and join with you for a dinner. I'll eat with you. I will drink with you or anything. You ask me to take part with you in any other things. I'll do it because I like all sports person. But if at all you ask me to compete with you, I'll never do it. Except competition, I will be with you in every other activity. Not only that, buy tickets worth their radium, even to watch your game, watch your tournament. I'll be ready even to pay a radium. Now, radium is something which is used in hospitals, to detect certain disease, isn't it? And radium is a very valuable element as well, very costly element. So here is telling, I will be ready to give even a radium to buy a ticket to watch your game. Only thing is, I can't compete with you. I'm ready to watch your game. To watch you gamble. Gamble means jump happily. Gamble in your sports activity. I am very happy to see you all jump happily, because after you win, you jump happily to see that in the stadium. And reassure myself anew. And I'll reassure myself anew that then and then I'll reassure that you are not me and I'm not you. Every time I'll keep on reminding me that I am not a sports person and you're not a spectator. This is what will be going in my mind. This is what the poet says in this particular stanza. I hope all of you would have enjoyed this very simple poem. It's a poetry itself is full of imagination. Here the poet imagines himself as a spectator, and what are all the things runs in the mind of a spectator. Sometimes many of them may not wish to be an athlete and get injured and being treated for injury, etc. And one important, so you can find out all the alliterations which you come across in the stanzas. So you know what is an alliteration? In this one particular line, two words, first letter of the word will be repeated, and that particular word will be a consonant sound. So if you identify anything of those, you can underline them. And there is one important figures of speech here in the fifth stanza, in the last two lines. My soul in true thanksgiving speaks. So here the soul, it's an imaginary or a non-living thing shown as a living thing. My soul in true thanksgiving speaks, as if the soul itself is speaking. So here the figures of speech is personification. Well, children, I hope you all would have enjoyed this poem, which is written by Odin Nash, who is very popular in writing light verse, and also the kind of poems or light verse he has written. He has been honored with the postage stamp, so that shows the kind of humorous elements or the entertainment he gives through his works. Well, now it's time for you to take a notebook and summarize the poems, each stanza wise, and send them to the group. Thank you.